Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So I want to talk about this because it's been going on for like 2 weeks now, ever since we played the Milwaukee Bucks, and I want to talk about it. So Myles Turner has been being the little fucking drama queen that he is, and it's been happening ever since we booed him when he came back to Indy. I know we gave him a tribute video, which we didn't even do for Paul George, by the way. And he's just been being a little fucking girl about, the way he was treated when he came back to Indy, that the fans booed him. He's sitting on the sidelines doing the whole, open book, chapter closed bullshit, okay? And ever since then, he's been kind of just, prissy little fucking girl about everything that's happened. He was asked post-game recently with the NBA Cup what he thinks of the Milwaukee Bucks green court, and he was like, well, it looks better than yellow. And he's just been like sneak dissing like that was definitely like a jab, you know what I'm saying? And then he went on Thanasis Antetokounmpo's podcast, and he basically said that after Tyrese Halliburton got injured, that the front office no longer wanted him. Well, no fucking shit. No way. No. You mean to tell me Herb Simon didn't want to pay the luxury tax on a season that his team wasn't going to even make the playoffs? No, not Herb. Not Herb Simon. And in some instances, I understand Myles' argument, right? Like, he took less money to stay there, and then, this was the year he was going to get paid, and everybody kept telling him he was going to get paid, and he didn't get paid. Myles drank the fucking Kool-Aid. Look, there was a year, by the way, they paid you an extra $17 million on top of what you were making because they were going to get penalized if they didn't. The Pacers were so far under the luxury tax that they had to pay Myles Turner an extra, like $15 to $17 million just so they wouldn't get penalized. I think that, it was the one season they gave him a salary increase, and because of that salary increase, I think it was last season or the season before, because of that salary increase, we were now not allowed to trade Myles Turner. So we kind of screwed ourselves, but we gave Myles Turner an extra $15 to $17 million and bumped his salary up into the mid-30 millions just so we wouldn't get penalized. And he was the longest tenured Pacer on the roster, so we were like, okay, you know what? Let's give Myles some extra money because he's been here for so long. So don't act like the front office has not, has always just been against you, because they could have given that money to fucking anybody. They could have given it to Tyrese Halliburton, and instead they chose to give it to you. So that's the first thing, is the idea that him acting like the front office was always out to get him, because there was that one particular moment where they were like, we're just going to pay you this extra money because we're going to get penalized if we don't. You've been here for a long time. Here's an extra $15 million to put into your pocket. So there's that. Now, I will say this, okay? I understand $15 to $17 million. NBA-wise, really not a lot of money, okay? I also understand that they've been trying to trade this motherfucker ever since they acquired him, ever since they drafted him. Yes, he has done a lot for Indy, and I do understand that, yeah, the offer they made to Myles Turner was kind of disrespectful. However, it fucking blows my mind that he didn't see this coming. I told you, the very next video after the finals were over? After Game 7. Go back and watch my videos after Game 7. It was either the first or second video. After that, I was like, Myles Turner coming back is done. I said that to you guys. I knew it as soon as Halliburton got injured. I was like, as soon as he tore that Achilles, I was like, yeah, that's the end of Myles Turner. And nobody wanted to believe me. Nobody wanted to believe. Oh, Myles is coming back. No, he fucking won't. Herb, how many times have I said it? Herb Simon doesn't like to pay the luxury tax even on good years. Never mind a fucking bad one. And your star player, the best player you have, is not going to play the entire next season? Yeah, the reason they offered Myles Turner the contract they offered him is because they didn't want to pay the luxury tax. And Myles, so all these reports, All these reports of like, oh, they're going to go into the luxury tax this year. Yeah, no. Herb Simon was going to go into the luxury tax if we were able to keep the team together. If we were going to go into the following season healthy. Now, I will say this, that's on Herb Simon. Okay? Like, Herb Simon doesn't... When was the last time Herb Simon paid the fucking luxury tax? I think it was like 2004. It was like 20-something years ago. So, yes, Herb Simon is a cheap fuck. I will tell you that. Herb Simon is a cheap fuck. But it's just the idea, like, we all saw it coming. I saw it coming. I was like... As soon as Halliburton went down, I was like, that's the end of Myles Turner's contract extension. And now, yeah, we don't have him. Yeah, now he plays for Milwaukee, and I get it. He feels disrespected. I get it. But at the same time, okay, Myles Turner signed with a rival. He had to expect that fans were going to boo him because you signed with Milwaukee. Like, I don't know why Myles Turner seems to think like the Milwaukee Bucks have been like the biggest thorn in our side in recent history. Like, never mind the Knicks. Never mind the Knicks rivalry from back in the fucking, 90s? Okay? Right now, at the current point in time, the Bucks are a bigger rival to the Pacers than the Knicks are. They just are. You know, like... Especially with, like, all the beef with Giannis and Tyrese's dad and everything, like, just that whole situation, the ball situation, right? Like, right now, they are the Pacers' biggest rivals. And this dude openly signed there, and I get it. The money they offered him was pretty crazy, plus the 25% trade kicker is fucking bonkers to me. I was like, wow, Milwaukee really wanted him, right? Good, they can have him because they overpaid for him. Right now he's averaging, 9 points and like 6 rebounds a game for them? Okay, cool. You're paying, $25 million a year for a guy who's putting up bench center numbers? Awesome. Perfect. You can have him. Okay? But it's just the idea, it blows my fucking mind. Like, it blows my mind that Myles Turner didn't see this coming. He has been on the Pacers for a decade. He has been on that team for a decade, and you didn't see this coming? You thought you were special. That's the problem. That's the whole problem here is Myles Turner thought he was special. And yeah, the Pacers are still trying to replace him, but you know what? The numbers that Myles Turner are currently putting up for the Milwaukee Bucks, the numbers he's putting up can be done by a bench center. So you know what? They can have him. He can cry all he wants. But the fact of the matter is, right, and Myles Turner's numbers will get better. Like, understand that. His numbers will get better as the season goes on. But right now, at the current point in time, it looks like they kind of overpaid. And even though I'm like, that's what I think he was worth, was anywhere from like $24 to $25 million. That's what I would have offered. You know, like if I was running the fucking Pacers. But because that's what I think his fair market value is. And it's always possible that he was worth that. And then now he has a reduced role. He's playing next to Giannis. So yeah, his numbers are probably going to be a little bit weaker than usual because he's not being prioritized really. And they're going to change that. Like at some point that's going to change as well because they don't have Damian Lillard anymore. But it's just the idea, like Myles has finally learned that the NBA is a business. Damian Lillard found it out the hard way, okay? And now Myles Turner is finding it out the hard way. Like, there is no guarantees. That's with any job. It doesn't matter where you work. You know, I understand he'd been there for a long time and thought he was special. No, this is what the corporate world is like, Myles, okay? Like, you can think you're special, but you're fucking not. Like, like everybody is replaceable. Yeah, it might suck now. It might suck in the short term because we don't have Myles right now. But he'll be replaced. He'll be replaced at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like there are only a handful of players in the NBA that I look at and I go, that guy's irreplaceable. And all of them are top 5, top 10 players in the league. Myles is none of them. So it just blows my mind that I'm like, this dude is he's crying. And I'm like, he didn't see this. Like, he did not see this? You didn't see that Herb Simon was not going to pay the luxury tax? In some ways, I feel bad for Myles. In some ways, I'm like, you know what? I feel bad for him because, he saw Pascal Siakam get paid. He saw Tyrese Halliburton get paid. But he's not as good as either of them. And I get it. You saw all the reports. Oh, they're going to go into the luxury tax this season. I was like, yeah, okay, if we're fucking winning. Nobody listened to me. And then the offseason comes, right? And Myles Turner gets offered a low ball offer. I will say it was a low ball offer compared to what I think he's actually worth. Like, Naz Reid kind of changed the whole market for what Myles Turner was going to get paid and whatnot. But it's just the idea, like, I just don't understand how dude didn't see this coming. That's my problem. I did not see how dude didn't see this coming when you've been there for a decade and you've seen guys come and go that weren't paid or guys that were paid. Herb Simon has never paid the luxury tax, and for whatever reason, this dude thought he was different. He thought he was special. And I've been saying it for a while, like, especially with everything that led up to this, it was like they've been trying to trade you for 4 or 5 years now. Like, he had to know that he was not that special. Maybe he thought he was like, you know what probably happened here, and I'm just going to say this. What probably happened was the front office gave him all this your family bullshit. Like, the Herb Simon family in the front office hit him with this whole your family bullshit, right? Because everybody, oh, your family. They tell you whatever it is to make you fucking feel good, and then when push comes to shove, they push you off the fucking cliff, right? That's what happened to Myles, most likely. They made him feel like he was going to get paid regardless. And then as soon as Halliburton got injured, all of a sudden, contract extension talks started to go sideways. Well, yeah, because that's the way Herb Simon is. So, I want people to understand this too. Remember this moment, okay? Like, this is a learning experience for fans. It's a learning experience for every player on the Pacers. This is the way that Herb Simon operates. If the Pacers are not a championship level team, even if they're a deep playoff team, he will not pay the luxury tax unless he believes this team is a championship team. And I understand why, but at the same time, I'm like, you have to understand there's some truth to this, that it's also the matter of just being fucking cheap. If you constantly look to swap pieces in and out because you don't feel like paying somebody, like, honestly, this offseason, we're going to probably have to choose between Andrew Nembhard and Ben Mathurin. And there's an argument to be made for Andrew Nembhard. Obi Toppin's a guy who's not even safe because he makes an astronomical amount of money, but Obi Toppin is really, really good for what he does. I think he deserves what he gets paid. But we're going to be going into the next season, or the following season, with Halliburton coming back, and it really depends on whether or not Herb Simon thinks this team is a championship team or not. And with the season we're currently having, we're 1-8. We're probably going to be 1-9 after the next game we play. We just played Denver last night. We're 1-8. So Herb Simon could look at this team and say, okay, well, we're getting another draft pick. Okay, cool. So we have another high draft pick. Who can we dump now to avoid paying the luxury tax? And it's kind of mind-blowing to me because the guy's worried about, $20-30 million when he's worth $5.1 billion. It's just, I don't know. To me, the math doesn't math there. Sometimes I just kind of wish the Pacers had an owner that was interested in seeing something through, but it's always been this way. It's always been like the whole, bring one guy in and send one guy out based on, drafting somebody we got to pay this guy. Okay, well, I don't want to pay him, so draft somebody who can replace him, right? Or find me somebody who will sign for less money that can replace him. And that doesn't always work. If you want a team to be successful, you do have to keep it together. But I saw this coming from a mile away. As soon as Halliburton got his Achilles, the Achilles injury. As soon as that happened, I was like, yeah, Myles Turner is not being re-signed. And it's shocking. It's shocking to me that he didn't see that, and now he's been crying about it for 2 or 3 weeks now. So, I don't know, Myles. I don't know what to tell you other than you should have seen it coming. I don't know why you put all your eggs in one basket in like that you were going to stay in Indy. I get that he loved Indy, but now it's like and I get it, he feels disrespected, but at the same time, I'm just like, you had to see it. You had to see it coming, and he didn't. So, tell me what you guys think down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.